Have remembered yet, humans? There's nothing in this Ethernet they call the internet, which is actually supposed to be called the Ethernet. Thanks, Devin Alamaji. That doesn't mean no. And the point is, there is no complete perspective, and that's why we can't. That's why I just can't just promote a handful of people and never have to be on the internet again, because they keep showing their bias, and they'll show some pseudo kind of support, but never any real support. Never their money where their mouth is, but they want the money. Even like the great, what is Straight Out Philly now, Phil Soccer LC. I got to mention you now. You know exactly what you did. Refuse to communicate with me directly. And then as soon as I download that little ghost app, show her just coming on herself, basically. Ooh, 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 ooh. You know, that's the next video that popped up. So I don't know who's in control of that. And then I send her a list from that ghost app. It's like she was cloned, like a totally different person. Someone talking about Egyptian pharaohs like they're not reptilians, like they're not Anunnaki reptilian humanoid. No, actually just Anunnaki reptilians. We have one fossil, just what it looks like an alligator practically. What are you talking about? I mean, big, no kind of like, no slim face, no, like alligator mouth, Yeah, that's something else, Claudio Nocelli. Like, I guess, he'll keep showing the internet, why? Because again, like the other one, he just completely like would never, like he stopped on his map. Like, oh, we're about to get to Arcturians. I better stop now. The Italian P and C guy. And now like, oh, I see that what's his Claudio Nocelli, again with the brown man. How come the brown men don't know what the brown man said? The brown man said there will not be one piece of steel left to the highest mountain. How come a honky's got to tell all the brown men this? How come you didn't hear what the brown man said? How come this doesn't make sense to you, human? How come the human cannot remember what it is? The original human is ethereal. So why does Claudio Nocelli keep mixing up spiritual? Spiritual is to deal with intuition. We got that from the Zeitgeist movies. With spiritual, so take it nothing. I mean, don't have to mean anything more than dealing with intuition. You're talking about etherealness. Okay, so you're talking about the reptilians, the Lacertians, being highly spiritual, yet building underground bases. Is that the problem with the Anakim giant? What are they building underground? Are you saying they invaded? You're saying Palladians were against the building of Tartaria. Maybe they were correct. Because 75 Messenger says that a lot of American Indians are Palladians. Of course, he was saying it from that erroneous galaxy's perspective. Again, where we got the claims about the Arcturians, if I'm one or not. That's just, okay, whether I'm one or not, we don't know. Okay, we're the oldest, if I am one, species in the galaxy. Of course, there's no galaxies that be within the Great Dome. That's the thing. No picture's ever complete, and they're not going to allow it to be. You understand? It's not going to allow it to be. So we're the oldest, or if I'm one, in the species, entity, type of entity in the galaxy, and we're the guardians of Earth. And when you say Earth, that means you've got, and that's just with help in indigenous cultures. You're saying heart. No doubt about it, Earth is anagram for heart. So is the heart alive? Instead of like thinking about this non-existing pear-shaped ball that's spinning at 1,039 miles an hour that doesn't exist. Instead of that, like erroneous, like misleading concept of Earth and its perversion and its carbon decay perversion, non-silica, perversion. It's not silica anymore. So this isn't the true heart. If we could just understand, yes, the heart is alive and the heart is hurting, instead of limiting it to the earth, the inversion of the heart. You know what I'm saying? We remember that earth is the inversion of the heart, and that the heart is actually hurting and the heart is inside. And remember, Claudio Nocelli, everything goes south. Remember that we'll give Devin Law Magic with that one. We get to pick credits. Little Jewish, I'm sorry your father sacrificed you. I thought that'd be pretty obvious. He had you in a petri. I mean about that, and then just left your mother and then sacrificed you to the black cube Yahweh's the computer, and you're playing dumb about it. And then someone else like, hey, let's do a blood over tent for you to be something else. I mean, make two demons, or combined demon. Just give them one name now. What else would they be, dude? Their behavior indicates demons, and so you uploaded two demons, and you want to be respected on Turtle Island. That's probably why your ass got kicked off. You had to go all the way down to Argentina to realize, no, the island says go. Because I know Turtle Island didn't invite Thoth or Hermes or Hermes Trismegistus or whatever. Are we getting the point now? That's why someone like me, I'm not here. Again, as always, on YouTube. I was just looking for my once a subscriber, looking for my soul, still doing the same. I can't mean my soul does not exist. My soul is so colonized as only can be. My soul is so patriarchal, insanely colonized, she cannot hear me. Huh? She's gonna give excuse after excuse not to contact me. Once you give these readers, where they go countless hours, you don't owe them, they owe you. And that's energetically, they can't get around that. When we do all the listening, receive all the empty promises, and y'all just getting monopoly money just rolling in for merely transposing what a computer says, and there's no evidence you're listening. That's the point. Y'all got to grow up. Stop playing. They're playing cards, aristocratic playing cards. If they're a tool that you use, progress from it. Yeah, the Thor isn't the god of hammers, isn't the tall guy of hammers concept. Are you the readers? You understand? The idea. Do you know any indigenous person that incarnated to read? If any indigenous person is posing as that, they assuming that it's anything to do with anything, proposing that they incarnated to play with tarot cards during our Holocaust? No. You stop now. That's all it is. There's no reason why you can't. There's no excuse why the human cannot take information immediately, write their processes, and be done with it. Once something is not A, cannot be A and not A at the same time. That's all there's to it. But if the Arcturians are the guardians of the heart, why is that one we can't be mentioned? The only time I noticed the Claudio Celli, he's got a little chart and everything and pictures, and especially anything reptilian why do you have such detailed information about the parasite? But you just gloss over the Arcturians and just incorporate them with our Armadians or whatever. Like, I don't know who cares. But I mean, like, we just share something. We share something together, and that's it. All you're gonna know about the Arcturians, not what we look like, not anything else. Huh? How are you calling lizards? I'm just saying. How could you call reptilian beings? Period. Which is reptilian is limited. There's no way around it. A reptilian entity is limited in what it is potential. So it cannot be spiritual and technological at the same time. Because if it's building underground bases, what are you talking about? That's not a spiritual endeavor. That's the exact opposite. And then talking about how it's military might, which is your whole claim against the custodians and the reptilians. You know, that's the deal. They use up their minerals and their environments for military dominance. And you're playing dumb about that. Brown man Claudio Celli. You look pretty brown to me. How come you have no indigenous concern? Again, let's consider everything goes south. Remember, that's what the phrase is, everything goes south. Stop worrying about what's out there. Because it looks like we get a lot of erroneous density. Because none of this density gets into the celestial lands now, does it, Claudio Celli? That's the whole point. Only the human essence we know of so far passes through into the celestial lands. Not even the human body. So let's remember what the human is. Let's stop muddying the word spiritual, giving it a meaning it doesn't have. If you're dealing in density, you're not being spiritual. If you're obsessed with 3D density in any way, shape, or form, even serving it like the indigenous cultures are mostly teaching or were, the moon and the sun. The moon just arrived one day. We can't remember that. If you're just too obsessed with 3D density, then you're not doing anything spiritual. And what we're seeking, trying to remember, is not spiritual. Spiritual is to do with intuition. It's to remember we're ethereal. The original human is ethereal, and we're on the last stage of development. Okay? How come we cannot live off all your social concerns? You can talk about all this social shit all you want to within a military-industrial complex. It ain't going to change a thing. The military-industrial complexes cannot stand. Do you understand? And if something doesn't employ me in that endeavor, I'm the fuck out of here. And you're not going to play no game and get me in prison or put me in a hospital, put on a big goddamn show because you couldn't get off your ass and put fucking ones and goddamn zeros in a fucking phone app. We can give away all the ones and zeros money, digital monopoly money, We can give it all the way. We can be the miracle for others, but nothing can come through for us for one goddamn second. And I immediately requested the 370 something that was stolen while driving down the road. Just years ago. I mean, just start somewhere, whatever I volunteered for. But this bullshit that who we volunteer for don't have to do a goddamn thing and can just leave us here. No, you can't. Okay? Most things that have existed before are now back in the ethereal state where they cannot be captured, cannot suffer, and don't have to beg a military industrial complex and a supercomputer for their right to just exist. So you're going to get off your fucking ass and do something. And Claudio Nocelli, if it's intentional, yes, I mean, one of my favorite people, I think. Yes. It's like all my favorite people are I'm meeting in spiritual court, including my own soul, apparently. Yeah. The Wright brothers, notwithstanding, they're not family. Yeah. That's not true family, okay? And if you don't do I have to explain that? I should never have to explain that. I should not have to explain to a natural human why the Wright brothers would be the first up in spiritual court. Now, should not, that should not explain something so simple. But is that intentional? Is that why nothing in the world will mention the Arcturians? Because we are the oldest and are the guardians of the heart of this universe? Someone please, it'd be nice if someone could let me know something once in a while.